Designing a home used to take months of back and forth with an architect. AI floor plan design is changing that. Over the next 10 minutes, I'll show you exactly what these tools do, what they don't do, and how you can accelerate your workflow. So what is an AI floor plan generator? It's a tool that takes plain language, a text prompt, say 3 bedrooms, a bathroom, a kitchen, a living room, and will take that and generate a floor plan based off of that text prompt. It's different than a tool like ChatGPT or like Claude because it actually generates a layout that you can change, you can edit, you can visualize, you can see all the possibilities of your floor plan. It's trained on thousands of architectural plans and infused with architectural knowledge, so it's always generating a floor plan that'll work for you and you can modify it exactly like you want. So that's why it's different than a Nana Banana, ChatGPT, or Claude. So where do these AI tools actually fall short? Well, they're not made for commercial buildings. We're really focused on residential first. So you can't do institutional project, you can't do a hospital layout, you can't do a warehouse layout. It's really made for residential projects. The plans that you generate are also not permit ready. They're made for being schematic floor plans that you can use to go further within the process, but they're not buildable floor plans and construction ready documents. And they're not a replacement for a designer or an architect. For most projects, you're still going to need sign off from an architect, and it's a starting point to go further in the process with your architect, and it's not meant to replace that professional. And the quality really does vary between tools. You need to evaluate what works for you before committing to a tool. How do you actually evaluate a tool? Well, there's a few different points that you need to be taken into account. The speed to generate. So obviously you want to be able to get to a concept in a few seconds or a few minutes at most. You want to be able to fully edit the output. So a lot of the tools that exist right now, they'll generate an image that you can't necessarily edit, and you're still going to have to go into the legacy systems, those tools, retrace the plan, and then be able to present to an architect. We really make editing super easy through editing canvas or a text-based approach where you can make the changes that you want to. Accuracy is super important. So you have a few different options right now. You can generate your plan and make those changes, and it's super accurate. But a lot of the solutions right now is you have to trace walls, you have to make your plan from scratch, and there's not that architectural knowledge within those plans. We make it baked in. So what you know that you're generating, you can actually use and refine and go further in the process. Visualization is super important. Being able to see the 2D plan and the 3D plan is really at the core of what makes a good tool. So when we generate a 2D plan, we actually have a 3D model in our back pocket that we surface at the right time, so you can take renderings of each one of your spaces, whether it be the kitchen, the bathroom, the bedroom, the dining room, so you can see exactly what the space will look like in a very easy to use 3D interface. And lastly, the exporting is super important. You need to be able to export to DWG, DXF, or PDF to be able to share it with your architect and go further within the process, and we offer that on our platform. So who actually uses tools? Homeowners who are looking to do new building or renovation can use Maket. You can explore what your kitchen's going to look like, the different layouts. You can visualize what this space will look like before committing to a full renovation. Home builders can also use it to enable conversations with their customers. Say they want to see what a 1 or 2 car garage is going to look like, they can easily do that with their plan. And architects and interior designers can also use it within their early stage exploration. So how does it actually work? To get the AI floor plan generator to work properly, you need to give it a few different elements. Your total square footage, your total stories, so 1 to 4 floors, your building shape, it can be square, rectangular, T-shape, I-shaped, your room types, and you'll have all that information then to be able to generate the plan that you want. Then what happens behind the scenes? Well, we crunch that data, and we, along with our architectural knowledge, will generate a floor plan that actually works for your space. Then what you get in return, you get a fully editable plan where you can edit windows, walls, doors, and basic furniture to see what the space will look like. And then you can swap out different elements that you want to, regenerate a space if you don't like the initial layout, or you can change different elements of that layout. So say making the kitchen bigger, making it smaller, adding a garage, making 2 bedrooms. So you can really iterate and go back and forth using text prompts or the interface that we have. And then you can export in DWG, DXF, or PDF to be able to share it with an architect and go further within the process. So now that we've talked about what it can do, what can't it do? Well, it can provide pretty good schematic floor plans, and you can get to a point of being able to meet an architect or an interior designer, a structural engineer if you're working on major projects. It won't get you to the point of integrating MEP systems, making full construction documents. So it's really a tool to iterate in a quick and simple fashion. So how much does this thing cost? Well, in the industry right now, there's a lot of enterprise solutions that take a long time to onboard and cost thousands of dollars on a monthly basis. We really make it super simple for you to get started and for you to start using exactly the plan that you want to. We have a free tier where you can test out a few plans, a few renderings. If you like what you see, then you can upgrade to a paid plan where you have more credits, you have full agentic editing control, you can go further within the process using that paid plan. How do we get started? You start with a free tier and really start slow and explore the options in a progressive fashion. Test it on something that you know well. Your home is a good example, obviously. If you're doing a renovation of a kitchen, a bathroom, it's a great tool to get started and see what the options are, visualize what this space will look like before fully committing to the tool. Usually it's going to take about 30 minutes, an hour, maybe up to 2 hours before you really start seeing how it could actually work within your project and get to the point where you've done a few iterations and you like what you see. So now that you've heard all of this, well, what do? You can read our fully comprehensive guide to see a deep dive on all of these tools and how they could work for you. And obviously, you can also try Maket free of charge and get started right away.